All right, bro. Let's get it. We back.
Yes,
Episode 2.
sir.
Week
Week two.
3 NFL. Week 2 of this. Week 3
Week two.
NFL.
Yep.
Yeah, week 2. Week 3. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get it going. How you want to start this, John?
Well, man, we got a lot of topics here today. I guess we can start what happened on Monday night. We had the Washington Commanders. They was out there against who they play? Oh yeah,
Bengals
the Bengals, man. The Bengals defense. Hey,
looking
man, they've been
real
looking good.
bad.
They've been looking a little
Looking
shaky.
looking real suspect. I mean, they got Trey Henderson over there. Um, you know, the pass rush. But like other than that, I mean, I don't know. It's looking real bad. I mean, Washington pretty I guess solid teams, pretty solid offense right now. Jaden Daniels coming along. Still got Terry McLaurin. Their defense is uh like still fairly good up front. But I mean, it's the Bengals. You say that meaning like they're supposed to be good. Joe Burrow, at the head of the table over there. So that's kind of alarming a little bit. You don't say that just yet, but in the sense of standards and who this team is, it is kind of alarming. Starting 0-3, 0-3 is kind of crazy. Like people turn their seasons around, but 0-3 to opponents that really they shouldn't have lost to, or at any given Sunday. But you would think that they should have lost to the opponents. So
Yeah,
yeah.
man. This is the Cincinnati Bengals team that's looking to go to the playoffs and looking to have championship aspirations. I mean, just a couple of years ago they were in the Super Bowl, so
Mhm.
it's crazy to see them starting off this way. I guess it's the blonde that's going to Joe Burrow's brain.
Yeah, there a guy that's here just to go 0-3, man. So like, I mean, he had a good day though. Well, he had over 300 yards. So I mean, is it him? Does he have to do more? I mean, does he have to throw for 400 yards instead of? I mean, Jamar Chase had 100, well, over 100 yards, 118 yards on six receptions, something like that. So I mean, the offense, I guess, was getting it done um, fairly well. Scored 30 points, 33 points. So like that's their defense has gotta hold the rookie QB to, you know, not
Yeah.
score 40 basically.
No.
Um, so but yeah, as they move on, like we'll see if the Bengals figure it out. Man, I mean they said Joe Burrow had a press conference. He said that's their plan. Obviously that's their plan, but he said that that's all they're focused on. So we'll see what really comes down to that. I mean, but the other team across, man, Jane Daniels looking good, having a hot start right now. Uh, and again on the flip side of the Bengals, they're starting bad. Washington starting good, but we'll see how long Jane Daniels keep that up, playing at a high level. Um, when we
Yeah,
get
man.
further to the season,
Yeah,
deeper.
and this game is a confidence booster for the Commanders for sure. You go into this
For
game.
sure.
I mean, of course, you're looking at your opponent as you can beat them, but this is a Bengals team, like I just said, was it's playoff contenders, championship contending team. So for the Commanders to come in here and score 40 points is behind their rookie
Not
quarterback is
easy.
pretty. Yeah, that's a good game. That's a in Cincinnati. So
In Cincinnati. Definitely not
yeah,
easy. Definitely not easy. Um, I mean, NFC East, we could keep it in the East
let's
with
get it.
them boys down south. Um, them boys,
Them
uh,
boys.
Cowboys, man.
Yeah, man.
I know you love this. You love this part.
This is my favorite part. We get to talk about the Cowboys' downfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about that defense because it was real suspect. This is the second time this season we've seen them look pretty suspect. First against the Saints, now against the Ravens.
Yep.
It's the run. They can't stop the run. I'm feeling like teams are starting to get their number on defense. If you have a solid run attack, you should be able to, find some cracks
Yeah.
in that Cowboys defense because
No, definitely.
they're letting everybody walk up the field. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure my grandma could go out there and rush for at least 10 yards on the
Probably.
Cowboys.
Probably it's a little crazy. It's crazy work, but I mean, yeah, their defense is stopping nothing. I mean, then this got another blow. George Phillips, her probably won't play this game or going to IR, but they just lose another big piece in the middle of that defense that's already struggling. Um, Obviously, you got the pass rush with Michael Parsons, but you know how much does moving him around help you in the run game? Because they move him, the end, outside backer, edge, whatever you want to call it, all this fancy stuff. But their run defense is just not good. You think you got Mozzie Smith, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, you got guys up front that you think, you know, should be able to stop this run, but it's just not the case. I mean, Derrick Henry looked like the Derrick Henry of old, 151 yards, 20 plus rushes. Got the ball in his hand again. Lamar Jackson, 14 rushes for,
Hmm.
covered a good amount of those rush yards as well. Um, yeah, the Ravens receivers uh, only had 12 completions between the six of them, and
Yeah.
one of those completions was by Derrick Henry, who also contributed. So, you know, 11 receptions by receptions combined. Like we're
Hmm.
talking about receptions between all of them.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, they ran the ball to say the least. Like,
Yeah. I mean, to have your quarterback have more rushes than passes completed is that says something. And to the effect of that, how are they going to stop this run? How are they going to move forward? What are they going to do to stop teams from just pounding the ball down the field? Like, it's a
flip
question that
side of
they have
that
to
is
ask.
they also cannot run the ball. I
No.
mean, they got Zeke, got Eric Dowdle, but um, and those aren't even like names to really like be scared of, or to Zeke in 2024 is like, I, no, I can't even give you a comparison
Celtic Shaq.
because it, eh, yeah, yeah, Celtic Shaq
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
Celtic Shaq, man, dang, so yeah, there's nothing to be scared of. They have to find a number two option in the pass, CeeDee Lamb,
Hmm.
big CeeDee Lamb guy, obviously. He's really good. But they have to find that second guy, which limits their, ability. And it's kind of like all the concerns that everyone else saw except Cowboys fans are coming to light. Lack of run defense, lack of options on offense. You let
Hmm.
some of your, best number twos walk. And that's just not good. Um, so they got to figure it out. They got to figure something out.
Yeah.
Trade deadline's coming up. Do they trade for a number two option in the pass game? Trade for a running back, or do both? Or trade for somebody, a linebacker or something to bolster that run defense. Like, I don't know. Can't speak on too much of what they have going on, cap space wise, contract wise. But if you can do it, you do it. You do something. They didn't
Yeah.
do a lick of anything on the all season. Obviously, their biggest signing back, back was Ezekiel Elliott.
Right.
Obviously, Dak and CD got their contracts towards the beginning of the season, but they're already on the team. So bringing
Hmm.
in new faces, they didn't do any of, and kind of seeing those struggles, man. Um, you know that's a downfall. I'm sure you love to see.
Yeah.
Uh,
And if they're not careful, if the Cowboys aren't careful, they'll get overtaken by the Commanders. I mean, right now, the Commanders are ahead of them.
oh,
So
that's a bold
if
statement right there.
I mean, if you have continued play from Jaden Daniels as he's been, and with the struggles of the Dallas Cowboys, it's possible. I'm not gonna say for the whole season that but if the Cowboys end up breaking, let's say 9-8, and the Washington Commanders somehow go 9-8, then it'll be based on tiebreakers. So we have to see.
That's a take right there.
Yeah.
That's a take right there. Dang.
Let's see.
Commanders overtaking the Cowboys. Oh, that's a bold one. That's a bold one.
Hey, I'm
Talking
high on the
talking.
Commanders. If you can't tell, I'm high on the
I
Commanders.
see. Like I mean, that's your comp, but you definitely are high on the Commanders. That's your comp.
Yeah,
So
that's the
um,
it's been a while since the Commanders have been any threat in the NFC East, so it's it's
that's
pretty
true.
good,
This
pretty good to
that's
see a
that's true.
old rival.
Um, are is the other team a threat?
Who that? The Giants? Danny Dimes?
Oh my god, bro! The
No,
Giants. I mean, they beat the Browns.
they did beat
A
the
good
Browns. They
Browns
did beat the
defense. I
Browns.
mean, Browns are also well, or how they won a game their own 3 as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, but lost to the Giants. Losing to the Giants is crazy with Daniel Jones. But I mean, they have a guy also who's not very good.
No.
Oh brother, this guy stinks.
Yeah, man. Dumpster fire of the week.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
man.
guy is bad. Um, he's real bad. I mean, you got 200 million reasons to play good. 200 guaranteed
Yeah.
reasons to play well, and you just
Failing all
don't.
of them.
The best you could
Yeah.
do is 196 yards. 16 incompletions. You got 21 for like 37.
Yeah.
I think
Sacked him
that's
eight
just
times.
bad. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just bad. Like I mean, like are the Browns feeling some of that O line injury kind of things? Yeah, but that happens everywhere. But it's also you have a good team. The Browns are a good team. Like you wouldn't think it right now because of their record, and usually you don't think it because of their record, but they've always had a really good defense. So it's like, you know, how do you figure that out at the quarterback position when you have a really good defense and your quarterback isn't doing well enough to win you these games? You're overpaid quarterback at that. Like you're two
Yeah,
hundred
man.
million dollar quarterback.
Remember, this is the same guy just a couple of years ago in Houston that was playing it
Uh,
out of his mind, and it's crazy because Deshaun Watson can move his feet, and he's a mobile. He can be a mobile quarterback. He can be a dual threat quarterback, and it's
mhm.
surprising to us to see the regression in his game. I'm not really sure where it's coming from. I don't know if it's just the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they are an organization known for failing, but
Yeah,
to have this
yeah.
talent, to have that talent that you have on this team, I mean, Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Jerome Ford, you have
Good
the
back.
pieces in place to make something happen, and you're not showing anything. So
Yeah, David Njoku.
David Njoku,
Um, defensive side, Miles Garrett, uh, Denzel Ward. You know,
stacked.
they got guys. They got a whole bunch of other guys on defense right now. I'm blanking on, but their defense is a staple point.
Yeah,
But that's not what we're here for right now. Because they're good. Uh, we're here to talk about this. You know, right now anyway. And if the defense starts, I mean, obviously the defense has some problems losing to Daniel Jones, but uh, this guy, Sean Watson, needs to. He's the yeah, dumpster fire of the day.
yeah, man.
That's crazy. Like I don't get it. I mean, as long as these teams like the Bengals and the Browns keep imploding in the North, I'm fine. But
I know you can't complain.
however, I definitely can't complain. I'm not complaining at all. I will point out though, like it's getting crazy just from a football, just from like a fan standpoint. Like, how do you pay a quarterback, all this money, and how long does this quarterback get to prove that he's good still or not good? We got right now we're putting rookie QBs on 1, 2 year leashes, maybe 3 if you're lucky. Sean Watson's getting chance. I mean, they're still riding that high from 2019 when he was on the Texans in the AFC Championship. Which that was a great Deshaun Watson, but since he's been on the Browns, it's been all bad.
Stinker.
It's been
Yeah.
terrible. So it's
Yeah.
like, where do we draw the line on guys like that? Where do we draw the line on guys like Daniel Jones, who's still a starter 6 years in and got a contract after
He got a contract.
doing absolutely nothing. Like,
Guys like Trevor Lawrence.
hey,
Same
Trevor
deal.
Lawrence got paid, like paid after his. I mean, obviously it's a second contract. This is when guys usually get paid, but you usually have to do something first.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you got one playoff win, uh,
I mean, I
one
guess that's good
playoff
enough
win.
to that's good enough to get you $200 million in Jacksonville.
I
And
guess,
Jacksonville ain't
I
seen the
guess,
playoffs in so long.
it's
since
it's
since
bad
Blake
over there
Bortles in
too. Yeah, exactly. That Blake Bortles playoff.
2017. Yeah.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
That was the last time they seen the
Yeah, we
playoffs.
don't we don't want to talk about that, but yeah, that's not something I like to revisit. But you're right though. It hasn't been since then.
Yeah.
So you got a guy like Trevor Lawrence trying to get who's the franchise. You pay your franchise, but the franchise hasn't done anything. Kind of
Yeah.
like it's crazy to think about because like you pay your quarterback just because. You know what I'm saying? You pay him just because either you don't want him to walk or you don't want to
Mhm.
draft a new QB, but it's like
Yeah.
a just because kind of pay. So it's like
Mhm.
leverage is kind of crazy because
Yeah.
you don't do anything, but these guys are like, I'm good, so I need to be paid. But haven't done jack
Yeah.
yet. I mean, got a contract without having to do anything.
Anything.
These
Yeah.
guys just, I mean, yeah, winning regular season games is winning regular season games, but it's all about the postseason. It's all we talk about, obviously, when it comes down to it. And you guys haven't done that, so it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting dynamic at the QB position that is just gonna, we'll continue to see develop. Um, so I mean, guys like now the question is, what do we do with guys like Malik Willis? You
Yeah.
know, who
Yeah.
who who stepped up in a
Yeah.
big way. So far finding his way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I mean, Malik Willis, I mean, he came out there, he's won 2 games for the Packers. He's looking pretty solid. Uh, I think it's pretty known that Jordan Love is gonna be the man there because that's his team. But as far as I can tell, I mean, it looks like they're in good hands, and Malik Willis might be playing to start somewhere else next season.
true.
So
But yeah, that's an example of one of those guys in Tennessee who got a year, where he got 2 years. Then they drafted a QB,
hmm
a new QB, and then he got, it's kind of crazy because before Jordan Love got hurt, I didn't even know Malik Willis was on the Packers.
yeah,
He kind of like when I was like, hey, he's there. Like that
yeah,
happened over the
yeah, yeah,
offseason, obviously, but I missed it. I totally missed that one. But it's like, so he's an example of, a guy getting pushed out, pretty early, but like now he's on the Packers doing his thing. Um, it's kind of crazy, what they got over there with developing a young QB. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say he's developed yet, but right now he's doing enough to win. But again, yeah, that is Jordan Love's team, and I think Malik Willis. If he keeps doing well enough, he could find himself, going to play somewhere else next year, backup, or maybe starter, depending on, it's 31 other teams. So we'll see. Some guys got their starters, obviously, but, backup position. Uh, the guy in his situation is Justin Fields,
yeah,
uh, a guy who's 3-0, you know, hasn't done anything to lose a game. He's kind of looking better than
hmm
what he's looked previously. Uh, that's a question for like a thing too. What do we do with him? That's my team and stuff like that. And we haven't seen Russ, but do you bench the hot hand, uh, just to see what else Russ got, or do you just ride it out with Field, young guy?
yeah. I if it was up to me, now I'm not Coach Tomlin, of course, and I am not a coach like yourself.
Yeah,
But
yeah, true, true, true.
if it was up to me, I feel like I would let Justin Fields keep going, even when Russell Wilson gets back, just because it builds confidence. You know what I'm saying? If you win 4 games straight and then you get benched, it doesn't sit right with you. Even if you coming back, even if you have a type caliber player like Russell Wilson, you know what you can do. And I
Right.
think Justin Fields knows what he can do. I think he knows that he's not throwing away these games. He's making the smart plays, making the check down pass, keeping it simple, keeping the game in front of him. I feel like if if it was up to me, I would keep Justin Fields out there. But I mean, Russell Wilson, he's had a couple of shaky seasons in Denver, but I definitely think in a change of scenery, this is a better team by far. So, you know, we'll see. We'll just have to see.
All true things. I'm kind of torn though, because like yeah, it's the high. I was on the Justin Fields train like you know a day ago, right? In the sense of like meaning like I think we just let him keep going, let him start, let him be the future. But Mike Tomlin in the press conference said something that was true. He was like, he's not going to make a decision without seeing both guys play. Like we haven't even seen Russell Wilson play. It's kind of like doing a disservice to him and the team if you just start like Russell Wilson rest of the season just because like we're winning these games, but it's not. We're also not winning because of him.
That's true.
We're winning because of the defense. He's just not doing enough right now to lose the game. So it's like, do we really just want to keep doing that when you get to the postseason you implode, or do you want to see what Russ has, and if he can drive that limit of scoring, and production for the offense, then that's the guy we go with. They're both on 1 years. I don't see us bringing both of them back next year. Uh, so maybe it's kind of like see how much Russ has left in the tank, or maybe Justin Fields just likes his time in Pittsburgh and signs back as a backup. We kind of have that thing going until Russ is done. But Justin Fields is young. That's the good thing for him. He's young, but it's also a thing of like he probably wants to get his career started. But also think he can learn from Russell Wilson. They're kind of
Yeah.
similar players in that regard. Russ is like Justin Fields is like a younger Russ, faster, obviously even when Russ is in his prime, but that same kind of move the pocket, get out the pocket, scramble, get yards kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
but like I said, I was on the Justin Fields train, but like I after watching that press conference, I am like, I do kind of see what Russ has left because I still think he has some left. He was on a Broncos team that wasn't very good. He had Cortland Sutton, but other than that, and like he threw for over 3,000 yards and 28 touchdowns, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was only 7 interceptions. So like his production was not terrible. And that's literally, I think that's more than any of our QBs last year combined. Like freaking the Kenny Pickett, uh, Mitch Trubisky, tandem going on, Mason Rudolph kind of trio thing going on.
Yeah.
And I think Russ still like had more yards than all of them combined and more touchdown production. So, that's really all the Steelers need, in my opinion, especially with that defense going. You got the guy, the boy back there, TJ. Man, that's undeniable. I got robbed last year for the defense player of the year, but we're not gonna get on that right now. We're not gonna get on that soapbox right now. But we're gonna stay on topic. So yeah, these young quarterbacks and getting their shots, man, it's
Yeah,
exciting to
man.
see.
Well, speaking of young quarterbacks,
Uh,
CJ
I think I
Stroud.
know where you're going. Oh, okay.
I think
I
I
thought we
took a
was going a
turn there.
different.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I took a
yeah,
turn there.
yeah.
CJ
I thought we were going a
Stroud.
different direction. Okay, okay.
We've
What
had
about
big
him?
games.
Let's
We've
talk
had
about
big
it.
games from him. But this last coming Sunday, he gave us a stinker.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, man. Only 7 points. You threw 2 picks. Got sacked 4 times. I mean, you got to do better. I mean, your team, they came through. Cam Akers didn't have that big of a game, but Stephon Diggs, almost 100 yards, 94, 10 receptions.
That's huge for him.
You gotta do better. I'm not gonna say you
Yeah.
gotta pull out a win. I mean, this is a Vikings team that was hot. Sam Darnold is on fire. He threw 4 touchdowns. So
Yeah.
he I understand a loss there, but to only score 7, you gotta do better than that.
Yeah, man. He was on, bro. He was on
Yeah.
strappies, man. They were strapped, which is kind of, I mean, it was kind of crazy. Like I said, Stephon Diggs did almost, like you said, Stephon Diggs almost had 100 yards, which is huge for him. Uh, being in this new system and finally getting his footing. But yeah, 7 points, for that new Texans offense is kind of surprising, kind of disappointing in the same regard. But like you said, that Vikings team is hot. That Vikings defense, I don't even. It might look bad on my part, but right now I cannot name a lot of people on that defense. It's just a well-oiled defense right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're playing great. Harrison Smith, I can name him though.
Yeah.
Old head man, but like that's a bunch of young guys.
Yeah,
Bunch of young guys who
got
are
some
just
cats on the
hungry.
team. They got
Um,
Stephon Gilmore, which I didn't know.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
signed right before, the season started. Actually,
I think that
before
guy's
free
like
agency ended.
isn't that guy like 45?
Bro, pushing it probably, but he's old. Dang,
Yeah, he's
Stephon
I
Gilmore's
think
over there.
he
They got
might be the most veteran cornerback in the league, defensive
right now,
back.
yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, they got two old, well, him and Harrison Smith.
yeah,
They got
yeah,
two of the oldest old heads on the defensive side.
yeah.
Uh, can't forget about Brandon Graham. Or you said DBs, but yeah, DBs, but
Yeah.
Brandon Graham's
Darius
old.
Slay's pretty old. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
they're
Darius Slay's
getting up
33,
there.
33, 34.
He is getting up there on the back end.
Yeah.
But yeah, Viking teams, man. We talked about it last week. Yeah, we asked the question. Is Sam Darnold legit?
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
I
He's
mean,
proven it. Uh,
he's answering it.
yeah. Definitely showing his thing.
Yeah. Another example of a guy just needing a change the scenery.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he just had to get out of
Yeah.
got
That.
drafted to a bad situation, got
Hmm.
traded to a bad situation.
Hmm.
Um, so he just had to get out of the situation now he's looking like he's thriving. Um,
Yeah.
so does that change we'll see. I'm not gonna jump the gun, but the question that looms right now and that we should watch out for, does that change just how he continues to do, and by the end of the season what they do, his stats, their record, whatever, does it change the validity to Kirk Cousins' time and on the Vikings? Meaning, is Kirk Cousins really that good, or do the Vikings really have a good system over there with Jettas? Is Jetta the common denominator, or
That's a
you
pretty
know what I'm
good question.
saying? It is a good question
And
to see. I mean, or Sam Darnold's just good now. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Uh, it's a question that I'm very interested to see if it
And
how that holds up.
another question on top of that, the Vikings originally planned to start their rookie this season.
It
So
is playing for JJ McCarthy.
does that change the route that they go forward going into next season? Okay, we got Sam Darnold with this play. We just gonna let him sit and watch, or are we gonna let McCarthy go ahead and take his big boy boots and put them back on?
This is
That's another
this
question
is
that you gotta
true.
ask. Yeah.
This is true. You're asking. That's a very good question. What do you do within that situation? You go to start your QB. Because Sam Darnold's young himself.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he
Like
is.
27, 26,
Hmm.
27. Like just finally getting his shot. And if he does well, like you said, does he stay the starter and does JJ just sit behind him, kind of like, you know, Aaron Rodgers situation sat a couple years. I think it was 3 years, really.
Yeah.
Or do you let him walk, let him test, his cars, and then you just start JJ? So that is a great question.
Yeah.
Um, but Sam Darnold's former team, with some QB troubles of their own over there. I want to say, well, at first there was troubles. Now it may look like something's getting fixed.
Yeah.
On the Panthers, Bryce Young,
Yes,
another
sir.
situation. Just going to keep going back to it, of a young quarterback who got on a short leash. Had a year that team the team seemed to not be that great around him. Everybody's like, oh, well, the Panthers aren't helping him. They didn't do him any justice in that situation. Uh, but then you got Red Rocket, Andy Dalton, who comes in and throws over 300 yards, gets
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson. I mean, I still think Deontay Johnson is a good receiver. Like, I think he's a good number one option. He's on the Steelers, but it gets him 100 yards. Gets Adam Thielen involved. So that also arises some questions about where this Panthers team is at. Is Bryce Young the problem? And did he need to be benched? Did he need to be on that short leash? Or is Andy Dalton just, still that guy? Um,
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy because you put Andy Dalton in this game. He gives you 3 TDs, 319 yards. I mean, it's insane. Like you saying, with the same players that Bryce Young had and couldn't get it done with. So I think it's obvious that we need to take a second to let Bryce Young observe, watch a veteran quarterback, and just sit there and learn how to go through his reads, his progressions, not get too panicked standing in the pocket, making the right pass. It's just time and development. So
sure.
I don't think Bryce Young is bad by any means, but I definitely think that he needs to learn from Andy Dalton because Andy Dalton just went out there and showed him what to do with what he got.
That's true. I mean, the thing that, like, we can't forget is Andy Dalton is true to this. He not new to
Yeah,
this.
no,
Like, he not
not at all.
new. Like, we're talking about Andy Dalton, the guy who I'm familiar watching, just because obviously the Bengals had some battles over there. Beat up on him a couple times. I mean, but he also got up us a few times.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
more often than not, he got by the guy, the black and gold. But regardless, so Washington, like, he was a starter in this league who, just lost his job in Cincy. But it's like he's not the brand new. He's not he doesn't suck.
no,
Like,
by
he
no means.
like I mean not he doesn't in retrospect, he doesn't suck. He wasn't just this long standing backup QB. This guy was a
Hmm.
starter, so
Hmm.
he knows what it's like to be into these games. He doesn't go into these games nervous or like feels like he's pressured or fighting for me. He's still always everybody's always fighting for a job, but it's like he's used to just walking into these games and playing because he was a starter. He's used to doing it.
Hmm.
He's used to beating these teams. So that's kind of maybe the difference, and that's kind of like, yeah, like you said, maybe why Bryce Young needs to sit behind him and learn a little bit and watch and see just how it's done, how to be composed, really, because Andy Dalton was one of the more composed QBs in the league. I would say just watching him, and so he knows what to do with the football, man.
Yeah,
Like again, you just can't forget this guy's not just a slouch. He just wasn't. He's not a career backup. So it's an interesting dynamic over there. See how hot he gets, man. It's interesting and good that they made this decision early. Um, Obviously we know Bryce Young didn't like it. Some people didn't like it just because didn't give him a fair shake. Um, but like you said, Andy Jones just showed him the blueprint. Just gave him the blueprint of what to do with what he's got. And they did it early. So we'll see
Hmm.
if we see Bryce Young again this season, or if Andy Dalton just rides it out, and then kind of the same situation. I guess on the Vikings, do you bring back the younger guy, or do you just let the starter who's starting right now rock it out?
Right.
Uh, Hey man, it's playing the QB position is interesting. You get
Yeah.
in some interesting situations when you're not winning. When you are winning, it's just who's good,
Yeah.
who's
And
good, and who's not good.
something I've noticed is it's kind of interesting to me because as far as my memory can think of, as long as I've been watching football, now is we have the quarterbacks, most talented quarterbacks in the league. We got at least two decent quarterbacks on majority of these NFL teams, which is something that I can't really say that I've noticed in years past. I mean, of course, teams drafted a QB and let him sit for a while, and then he'll
Hmm.
become that guy. But that's only in certain situations. I mean, you don't see that all the time, and we're seeing that a lot right now. A lot of backup QBs are stepping up. A lot of these backup QBs that we see around the league are actual nameable players that people know in their household. So it's
Yeah,
pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. It's a lot of quarterback talent to come out in the last couple
yeah.
of years.
It's I also think it's the again, like you mentioned, the short leash that young QBs are on, and just the kind of revolving door kind of
Hmm.
style of that we're in now. Before,
Hmm.
10 years ago, we could say that now. That 10 years ago was
Right.
2014. We're
Right.
freaking, in middle school, high school. But it's like 10 years ago, you have a guy and you have a backup. But to that extent, it's kind of the double-edged sword because we talk about how long how long does the QB get versus the revolving door kind of style we have now. Because like to put it in perspective, 6 years for Daniel Jones, I think is way too long, right? But I also think 2 years or a year and then a year and a half for like a young rookie QB is also too short. It's kind of like
Yeah.
what kind of do you give? I think that like after 2 year mark, that year mark is the
Yeah.
the mark where you're like, okay, this guy's shaking out. With that being said, like 10 years ago, like you have a guy and he's the guy and he's just playing whether he plays bad or not. You go through a season, he's playing bad, he comes back next season, is he good now or better? Is he progressing? That's also the thing. Like the teams have to see these QBs have to see progression. If your rookie year you have 2 wins, let's say you have 2 wins, your next year better have 4 or 5, which is, you're not going to go to a playoff. Some people do, but you're not going to go to a playoff contender after having a 2-12 season. Unless you're extraordinary, unless you're CJ Stroud, which he did. Like, I mean,
Right.
rookie year, but anomaly, you know what I'm saying, unicorn.
Yeah.
Uh, but now, uh, back on topic, it's more of that revolving door kind of. You get a year, maybe two. Like you might not even get that full second year, but you get 2 years and then you got another guy in, or you got this older guy who became a backup. Now he's floating around. So I think
Hmm.
that's where um that thing is coming where we have notable backups. It's
Yeah.
like the guys that got pushed to the side early, or it's a guy that, an older guy, middle-aged guy who's just not the starter anymore, and like now they're still in the league. Um, but you're not wrong in that regard. We have more notable backups this time around. It's not, and it used to not be like that because there
Yeah.
just was one guy. You know,
Right.
we can name them off. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Just around that time, for us it was Ben. For you guys it was Mike Vick,
Hmm.
McNabb.
McNabb.
I mean,
Yeah.
but you can name them, and they were that guy. There was not any like
Matt Ryan.
backup. Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and then
Aaron Rodgers.
so on. Aaron Rodgers on the Packers, Aaron Rodgers who's now started on a different team, so it's like that's where Jordan Love gets his chance. But
Right.
uh, but it's like you can name the guys now that revolving
Mm-hmm.
door style of QBs. You can name them, but it's like, but he only started for like a year or two, and then like
Right.
now it's this new QB.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, man. That's it. Interesting dynamic that I just peep.
yeah, no,
But
it definitely did. You could go on and on about it too. It's just like,
yeah.
yeah,
But taking it back, let's go down south. NFC South. Eagles versus Saints. Down there in New Orleans.
yeah.
What did you see that game? Did you get to catch any of that?
I did. I caught pieces of it, and then I caught the end of it.
Yeah.
The obvious ending. It wasn't looking too good at first. It was
No.
looking scary. It
Very.
was looking real sketchy. I mean, I'm not hating right now. I'm not gonna call it luck, but you get a backer and a safety or corner and safety running into each other,
Hey, that's the play
and
design, baby. That's the
oh,
play design.
that was not a play design.
Hold on now. If you
That
run the
was
crossing route, he ran the crossing route right across the screen, right where Dallas got it. They ran
that
right
was
into
a
each, and that was the point. He set a pick. The why? Hey, he set a pick.
that's that safety was is
It looked like something out of a cartoon the way they crashed into
bro.
each
It did.
other.
Like I said, I'm not gonna hate, but like if you call it play design, sure, that is the pick route, but like that's atrocious by them. They played good all the way
Yeah,
up to that point. I
yeah, they did.
mean, freaking let Goddard go freaking
60
60
yards. Yeah,
yards.
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Again, it's just yeah. So I saw pieces of it. How'd you feel about going through that game?
Well, uh, I want to start with the quarterback because when the game's close like this, people have a tendency to look at the quarterback play. That's what it comes down to. Jalen Hurts, he actually had a somewhat decent game, 29 for 38, only missed nine incompletions, over 300 yards. Most of those coming from those chunk plays from Goddard, but you can tell the decision making is a little shaky in certain situations from a quarterback that we think should be in a certain talent bracket. But uh, Jalen Hurts did not throw this game away, and to say that he was saved by his defense, I can agree to that because
Yeah,
the
I
Eagles
agree.
the Eagles defense held the Saints team that was averaging 40 something points down to 12. So,
hmm
so
That's good. Yeah.
yeah,
I
man,
mean,
those big plays from Dallas Goddard and Saquon Barkley, they
oh yeah,
definitely carried us.
definitely.
Yeah,
What,
definitely carried.
147 through the air, or was it more than that? I feel like it was more than that for Goddard. Or was it 147?
170,
Oh,
170 for
170.
Goddard,
I think it was 140 for
147 for
Saquon.
on the ground.
Yeah, yeah, on the ground for Saquon.
Hmm
170 for Goddard through the air. Big
Huge.
big day for him. I
Yeah,
mean, that's a. I mean, obviously 140 is insane anyway, but Saquon is Saquon. That's a Saquon day. A
right.
Saquon day is probably about 100. 140 is kind of crazy. But a big performance from those two. But yeah, Jalen Hurts and I feel like that has been uh his production is never the problem. His talent is not the problem. It's always his decision making. And for me, that what I've seen uh is also his accuracy, right? Which goes hand in hand with his decision making. Make bad decisions. You have off platform throws and things like that. But his decision making is always been shaky. Um, go, and that kind of shows. It shows up a lot also when the number one is not there, AJ Brown. So that also kind of, what do you think? How much do you think? that not having AJ change the dynamic? Like obviously you lose your number one receiver. Anybody who loses their number one receiver is gonna like you see differences, but also when you have a great quarterback and you have other talent around him, you know, how do you think that not having AJ changes that dynamic? Because you could
Well,
potentially go further without like seeing him on the field. So
yeah,
you know,
yeah, most definitely. Well, I feel like when it comes to Hurts, AJ Brown is a motivator to calm. Like it helps settle him into the game. He's a good big wide receiver. You can just get it up to him, and you know he has confidence. He can come down with it on pretty much whoever's on him. It's a way. It's almost like a scapegoat. Having AJ Brown out there for him is like a scapegoat. Okay, I'm going through my reads. I can't find nobody. I know AJ's open. You know what I'm saying? And to have that gone is definitely a, a piece of him that you can consider missing. But on adding to that, he's doing what he can with what he got. You know what I'm saying? Fear, not force feeding Dallas Goedert the ball, but when Devontae Smith gets hit and he's out the game, you have no AJ Brown. Okay, let's turn to Saquon. Let's turn to Dallas Goedert because that's the next two people, next two talented players that we got lined up. You know what I'm saying? But as far as it falling back on Jalen Hurts, I mean, yeah, AJ Brown is definitely a piece of him that is you can tell when it's not on the field. You can definitely tell
yeah,
when AJ Brown's not on the field for the Eagles. But
yeah,
you know they're best friends, so I'm pretty sure any two guys who's played locked in like that, you're gonna feel when each other's not on the field. So
for sure. I mean, for the Eagles' sake, I mean, I hope we can do it out. I mean, we'll see what happens with Devontae Smith, uh, and who's going to be wide receiver one on that like this upcoming Sunday. But yeah, I'm not gonna say worried because it's too early to be worried, but you know that Jalen Hurts is it seems like the issues that he has haven't been fixed. You know, I feel like it's never been his talent, it's never been like skill level. It's always been about the things we talked about with his accuracy and his decision making, which got him in some trouble like 2 years ago, 2 years, 3 years ago, when people were actually, even some Eagles fans were like, you know, questioning, like, is he the guy? Like, what are we doing with Jalen Hurts? Like, can he fix these decision making issues? Because it's not about production. He always produces, you know, the numbers are there, but in critical moments when it comes down to that decision making, where he's just like throwing the ball willy nilly into, you know, certain situations, or not reading, the defense to make the right throw. He's either trying to force it to AJ, which he couldn't do this past Sunday, or, is he, again, making the wrong play when he doesn't need to. And then the accuracy comes along with it, getting the ball to his receiver, uh, on time and in the right spot. But again, yeah, 2 years ago, I think that's when it was kind of like shaky. And then he got that big contract. I think everybody forgot about that.
yeah,
But then, when you have situations like this where your number one's not out there, problems always find their way to sneak back in. It's like, hold on, I've seen this before,
yeah.
and the money just covered it up before. Uh, which it's kind of crazy. Um, Talk about at the time when he got that contract, that money. Kind of crazy that he got that money, because he hadn't done much since. Uh, this isn't the poop on AJ. I mean, poop on Jalen Hurts,
Oh no, it's fine.
segment for me right now. But yeah, I'm just saying, like it was just like he had that one good year, and it was
Yeah,
like, bang. It's
yeah.
like, hold on, but
Well,
you know,
this
yeah,
is this is a guy that was just in the Super Bowl, and he played a
yeah,
good
but
game,
that's
and
what I'm
he
saying.
played a good game in that Super Bowl too. And that season, I definitely felt that there was a difference in his decision making, maybe because he was a little more. the play calling might have been a little more attuned to him. Now that we have so many talented players on our team, we have to kind of adjust the way we call plays. Got to get other people involved. But that season, it was the decision making was pretty solid. He knew when to run, he knew when to throw it, knew when to check down, knew when to take a sack. I just seen out of these 3 games, and like I said, it's only been 3 games. Uh, I can tell some in certain situations that he seems a little uncomfortable. But he does have a new OC. Kellen Moore just came in. Uh, and Nick Sirianni is he's out there doing his thing. I mean, he's out there calling plays as well. Uh, fourth down, these fourth down conversions that we aren't converting.
Yeah.
It's not only us, but it starts with us because that's who I watch. uh,
True.
you gotta take points when you got them.
Analytics say, analytics say if you do this,
Yeah, man. You got to be able to
yeah,
take points when you get them. You got to be able to. You never know when those points are. You're not taking those points to come back to get you.
yup,
You want to go for fourth down. You want to be risky, but you never really think, okay, what if I don't get this fourth down?
yeah,
It's 4th and 1. It should be easy, but this is the NFL. Okay, people are going to flood the line. People are going to look for the quick play action play. People weren't born yesterday. So coming with these fourth down situations, you got to be crafty. You got to be able to know what you're doing. Got to be confident. And I love Nick Sirianni's confidence, but uh, yeah, those can cost you in a game in the playoffs. That can definitely could have costed us. So that's something to watch. Those Nick Sirianni inputs into the play calling. But it's not just us. I've seen the Falcons do it just against the Chiefs. Went for it on fourth down, didn't get
yeah.
it. It's real. The analytics are taking over, and people are starting to play the game by the numbers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, you know who is taking those 3 points though?
Hey.
Mike T.
Right.
Mike T's taking them 3 points. Hey,
Yeah.
won a game off of 6 field goals. Hey, there it is right
No.
there. No
No
touchdown,
touchdowns.
six field
Right.
goals. Hey,
Right.
take those 3 points, man. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's all it takes. But yeah,
Lesson of the day.
taking
Lesson of the day, everybody. Take your 3 points.
take the 3 points, man.
Take the
Take
three
the
points.
three. Take the three. It's all you gotta do. It's football, man. That's one thing I've never understood, bro. Is the going forward on fourth down inside, in when you're in their territory, bro. Like,
hmm
just take the 3 points. You're giving them a free possession for what? Like, 3 points
Yeah.
is 3 points. That's points on the board. It's gonna win you the game.
hmm
I get the late game situations,
hmm
where usually it's like, all right, we gotta go score, or if you're up and it's like, okay, we get this, we do score, like we're sealed. So I get those situations, but if I'm like first, second quarter, even third, depending on the score, and
Yeah.
you're sitting here trying to go for it on fourth, and it's like a fourth and like 4 or like a fourth and 2 and you're like close to the 50, it depends on the situation. Like now if
Yeah.
you're like
Yeah.
inside the 20, 15 or something like that, and it's fourth and 2, all right, like, okay,
Yeah. You
you'll
want to you
take
want to
that
get that touchdown.
gamble,
Yeah.
like that you'll take that gamble to get the first down, keep the drive going. But if you're like, you know 45, 40, even 30, I say take those 3 points. That's just me though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
That's just me.
it's all situational. I mean, it comes down if you trust your kicker or not, depending on spot in the
True,
field.
true.
But it's all about knowing the risk. If you're inside the 20 and you don't get the first down, the team you just put their team inside your own 20. So
Yeah,
they're gonna have to move the entire length of the field.
yeah,
Why people continue to try to go for fourth down around the 30, 40 yard line where the other team could just get the ball and throw 2 passes and be in field goal range? It
yeah.
beats me. It beats me. But
Beats the hell out of me.
yeah, man. But the game is changing. We're here to watch it. So
It's changing.
yeah.
Definitely is changing. Um, yeah, we can speculate all we want.
Yeah.
analytics are taking over. Uh, let's give us some analytics of our own. Going into the Sunday. I guess predictions are analytics.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
say that. Like, I mean,
We give out
it's
some
a
scores.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
50-50 chance that you'll be right.
Right.
You know,
Right. That's true.
so only two teams play on Sunday, so there's a 50-50 chance you'll be right. So that's analytics.
Okay.
So I mean, first game we got for going into week 4, tomorrow, Cowboys Giants. Um,
NFC matchup. NFC East
yeah,
matchup.
NFC matchup. This little rivalry, I
Yes,
guess.
sir. Yes, sir.
NFC rivalry. It's kind of early, week 4 for it, but
Yeah.
actually there's a couple in here to be honest. But
But I'll be tuned into
Cowboys
that game. Cowboys,
for
Giants.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got to take the Cowboys. I mean, they've
Cowboys.
been struggling. I don't see them throwing away this game to a conference rival,
Yeah,
especially one to the caliber of the Giants. So,
yeah. And then we hit Sunday. Pack Sunday, man. Bengals Panthers.
hmm give me the Bengals in that one. Give me the Bengals in that one. I mean, Andy Dalton's been playing good, but I think Joe Burrow is due one. I think he's due
He
one.
is due one, but it's Andy Dalton versus the Bengals, man.
That's a good point. That's a
Andy
good
Dalton.
point. You know,
Does he play his heart
yeah,
out
yeah.
and beat this team,
That's a good point. Yeah.
or do the Bengals feel like they have more to play for to not go 0-4?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I mean,
That's a good game. Might have to tune in for that one.
give me the Panthers, man.
Give you the
Give me the
Panthers
Panthers.
underdog.
They're hot. They're
Yeah,
hot. They're coming off a win. They feel revived right now. They see what it
yeah,
can look like with a
yeah.
veteran QB,
hmm
and Bengals are reeling.
Yeah,
They look
yeah,
defeated in those
yeah,
press conferences.
yeah.
Give me the Panthers. I'll go with Panthers on that. We got
All right.
yeah, Saints Falcons. Another good
Good
one.
game. Another good
That's
one.
gonna be another good one. Usually that's like a toilet bowl game, but
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but you know, both
That's gonna be
both
solid.
teams are getting revamped.
Yeah.
So
I hate to piss the Falcon fans off, but I think I might have to take the Saints.
I think I have to take the Saints too.
Yeah,
You know,
those
I'm
cats are
not
playing.
I'm not too high, and I've never have been too high on Derek Carr, but the team's been playing well. I mean, they got stopped by you guys this past weekend, but they're still them right now. So I'm gonna take the Saints over the Falcons. Another division matchup: Texans Jaguars. Texans, that's an easy one for me.
That's the easy one for me
It's an
too.
easy one for me.
Bouncing back after
Jaguars,
that bad loss.
yup,
CJ
for sure.
CJ Stroud just got an earful from Sam Darnold after giving Caleb Williams an earful last week. So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think he's
Yup, yup.
gonna bounce
He
back.
got he little bro. He got a little bro, man.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Steelers and Colts.
yeah. So you know who I'm going. You know who I'm rocking with.
Yeah, man.
And we about to put AR-15 in the blender. You know what I'm saying?
Let off a couple rounds.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, rocking with the Steelers on that one, black and gold all day.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Uh, Jets Broncos. Jets.
Give me the Jets.
For me,
Yeah, man.
yeah, for
Give me the
me,
Jets.
it's the
Give me the
Jets.
Jets.
I mean, Broncos just haven't been. I
Mm-mm.
mean, Bo Nix started to find it. He started to find it, but it's the Jets. Good defense. Aaron Rodgers at the
Yeah,
at the helm.
yeah.
Give me them. Uh, sheesh. Another division. Vikings Packers. Um,
Vikings, Packers. Yep. Mm.
take a game.
Give me the Vikings. Give me the
Yeah,
Vikings. Yeah, give me
yeah.
the Vikings. Yeah.
I just think they're too hot right now, man.
Maybe with
Sam
Jordan Love,
Darnold.
maybe with Jordan Love, the Packers would have been able to do something. But like you
Yeah,
said, Sam
yeah.
Darnold.
With Jordan Love, I think this game is much closer. But yeah, Vikings, Sam Darnold's too hot. This defense
Yeah,
might be too much for Malik Willis right now. So
yeah.
yeah, give me the Vikings. Bears Rams.
Give me the
I think
Rams.
yeah, I think I'm taking
Give me the
Rams. I
Rams.
mean, I like Caleb Williams, but he's a rookie. You got to figure it out. And I don't. This could be the game, um, but I don't think it is the game. It
Yeah,
could be, but I don't think it is.
yeah.
Rams are doing some good things as well. Dealing with some injuries though, but they're doing some good things. So give me the Rams on that one. Eagles Buccaneers.
Mm, you already know where I'm going. Fly, Eagles, fly. Go ahead and give me the Eagles, man.
Hey man,
Easy
last
take.
time y'all played them.
Hey, that's why we got to beat them. That's why we're going to punch them in the mouth. Got to start early. Go ahead and get a big lead. Coast your way on through. That's how I'm looking at it.
You know me. I'm taking underdog route. To be honest, I don't even know if they're underdogs in this game. The
Yeah,
Buccaneers, they might not be underdogs.
they've been playing solid. They've been playing some solid football.
Baker's playing some solid football.
Yeah, for sure.
Eagles got some health questions. Give me the Bucks. I'm gonna take the
Respectable,
Buccaneers
respectable.
on that one.
Respect.
Who's next? Those are all the 1 o'clock games.
Yeah,
4 o'clock
yeah,
games. We got 49ers Patriots. Give me
yeah.
49ers.
Yeah, give me the
Give me
49ers. Yeah,
49ers.
give me the 49ers. They're beat up. The Patriots, I actually want to root for the Patriots, but I don't think they have it all, dude. They don't have it all. They don't have it all together. I mean, they have a good run game with Ramondre Stevenson, and I really do like Ramondre Stevenson, but that's the only reason I'm advocating for them right now. They're not going to
Yeah, yeah.
win.
Give me 49ers.
No.
We got another good game. We got a couple good games, this weekend. Few good games actually. Commanders, Cardinals.
Mm. Commanders, Cardinals. That'll be
Cardinals are
that's
playing.
that's that's gonna be a
Cardinals are
good one.
playing good.
I
Kyler
already
Murray.
I said it earlier this show. I think I'm high on the Commanders. I'm high on the Commanders. So
Oh man, Cardinals. I think I'm gonna take the Cardinals on that one.
yeah,
Kyler Murray is playing good. He's playing good, man. He's getting Marv going. Trey McBride over there.
yeah,
I like them. So I'm gonna take the Cardinals on that one. Chiefs Chargers. Take the Chiefs. Uh,
no question.
yeah, no question for me there. Take the Chiefs. Browns Raiders.
That's a dumpster fire.
Right now it's kind of crazy because the Browns. I mean, not saying that it's so frustrating. Like it's the North. I don't care, but this Browns team is good. Like their defense looks good. So
On
like to
paper.
say they're in this dumpster fire game is kind of crazy, but they are because they're 0-3. They haven't won a game. So
Yeah, not many
or
fans like
they're
this
one
year.
they're one and two. My bad. They're 1-2, but both these teams just look bad. Um.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. So the whole time I'm saying they're 0-3, they're 1-2, but both teams just look bad. So yeah, give me the Browns though with that.
Yeah,
that
I'll just play devil's advocate and go with the Raiders.
yeah. Bills
Garbage.
Ravens.
That's gonna be solid. That's gonna
This
be
is
a
gonna be a
real
good
solid
game.
game. Yeah,
This
it's
is
gonna be a
always a
good
good
game.
game, and this is gonna be
Mm.
a big Josh Allen guy. Give me the Bills, man.
I want to
Big
see
Josh
Lamar
Allen
Jackson
guy.
succeed. I want to see Lamar Jackson succeed, man.
Fair enough, but
Yeah,
I don't know. Fair enough.
I want to see him and Derrick Henry. I want to see them work. I feel like that's a tandem that could be real devastating to certain defenses. It's all about their over the top game. How is Lamar Jackson going to include those receivers in the game? So we'll have to see.
Hey man, Ravens almost sold that game to the Cowboys last week.
They did.
I think at this point in time, Bills are taking that game. Like in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
say if that happens to them, I
Mm-hmm.
think this Bills team wins that game.
I agree.
So that's around. So I'm gonna take the Bills with that. Dolphins Titans.
This is also a
It
close game.
it is because it wouldn't be close if
Nah.
Tua
And
was
yeah,
playing.
yeah.
Even though when he's healthy, I'm not like too high on him to begin with. I think he's just a product of what's around him. But however, he's not playing. So Oh, Dolphins did not look good without him though.
Nah, the
And I
Titans.
think Skylar Thompson is hurt as well. So,
Yeah, might have to take the Titans just off default.
bro, might
They
have to
but
off
they
the
are not playing
phone.
good football either.
No, they're not. They're not. But without a starting quarterback,
Yeah, man.
uh,
I don't know how
yeah,
you can root
yeah,
for them.
that's Monday. Oh, we got two
Tyreek
Monday night games.
Tyreek Hill have to throw the ball to himself.
Bro, he's gonna have to, bro. Like, it's
Nah, for
ridiculous.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, Titans by default. That's a Monday night game. Another Monday night. You got two Monday night games again. Seahawks Lions, which is a good game this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Right now, which is usually a good game because
Yeah.
two teams are usually good, but right now this is a great game. I'm gonna take the Lions with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Give me the
Very very
Lions.
high on the Lions.
Yeah, me
They're
too.
good.
Me too. I love
They
Dan
get it
Campbell.
done. Yeah, they get it done. I love their backfield. David
Yeah.
Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. I had
Yeah.
David Montgomery on my fantasy team. So
The Lions are a very likable team. I think they have a certain
yeah,
certain aspects about them that are very
yeah.
likable.
It's that Detroit vibe of like
Style
hard
football.
nose,
Yeah. Yeah.
nitty gritty kind of
Passionate
thing.
football. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was built too. So
Mm-hmm.
Jared
Mm-hmm.
Goff got traded, swapped there.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like as of right now. Before, I mean, same thing that Detroit, hard, Calvin Johnson with Matt Stafford, kind of that tandem. But then, like even now, they built it up. Aiden Hutchinson, they got Allen, all their guys, a lot of their big guys they drafted.
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs, they got David Montgomery from the Bears, but other than that, it is a very likable team. I will say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in this game, I'm take the Lions now.
Yeah. For sure. Me too. Me too. Doubleheader on Monday night.
Yeah, doubleheader. So
I'm enjoying
we'll
those.
100%.
Yeah.
So
More football.
yeah. So that's the slots that we have.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
episode that we have, and we're gonna watch some good football.
Come
So
Sunday.
we're gonna watch some good football on Sunday. I mean, we're starting tomorrow. We'll see if it's some good football.
Yeah.
Thursday nights usually haven't been good, but
We'll
uh,
see.
Sunday we're gonna have action packed Sunday, and
Yeah.
it's fun. It's always fun when football is on. So
Always.
yeah, we'll be back after that. Talk about some things, see what happened. See who stunk it up.
Yeah.
See
Amen.
see who got good. That's
Yeah.
all I got, man.
That's all I got.
All right, brother. Let's do it.